Hi, Elliott here. I am going to answer a few questions to hopefully help you guys have a better feel for who I am and how I might be able to help you. So here, I'm going to go ahead and start off with who am I, where am I from, and where did I go to school. My name is Elliott. I'm 29 years old. I am from West Seattle. I went to elementary school at Alki, middle school at Madison Middle School, high school at John F. Kennedy High School in Burien, and I went to college at Western, where I graduated with a degree in general studies. Second question, when did I first start studying the brain and why? I first started studying the brain in college at Western. I really got interested in psychology and cognition and how our thinking interacts with our biology. And I also studied neuroscience there, and how neurons fire and all the different chemical interactions that go on in the brain and also in the body and hormones and all that stuff. So that's where I first became interested in the brain and also how to maximize our potential through brain power. And then when I left school, I just continued studying it. I read Dr. Daniel Amen's book, Making a Good Brain Great. And from there I continued reading, researching journals, books, videos, in the pursuit of maximizing and making the most out of my own brain power. And that's kind of what led me to this area of work. So what areas of health do I study? I study nutrition a lot. How the foods we eat interact with our bodies, with our biology, with our brains. I also study toxins, environmental toxins, and how to detoxify our bodies so our brains and bodies can function better. I also study mental training and how mental training can help you control hormonal responses and power of positive thinking, and how science is starting to find out that these things work, how thinking actually affects the different processes in the brain and our health in general. Study exercise. Exercise is a big one that I've studied a lot, and how it triggers a whole host of positive benefits for the brain and body, and why, and which types of exercises work best for what people are going for. I also study natural medicine, herbs and different things that have potential for healing different diseases. So natural medicine is the big one. And then another one that I've really been studying a lot recently is physics and energy and consciousness and how it impacts human biology, because that's kind of what happens at a fundamental level. We have electrical and chemical impulses, and those affect how we feel, and also the health of our bodies and brains. So it's kind of an underlying thing that affects everything. What experience do I have in helping people regarding their health? So the first person I really ended up helping, was myself. Exercise, nutrition, learning, and putting those things into practice in my own life. And then I became a caregiver for my aunt. She was diagnosed with ALS, and that really turned the area of my study to neurological disease, specifically ALS, but also from there I learned a lot about all the other neurological diseases and how they are connected, how they relate, and many of the underlying causes are of similar origin. So from there, I learned a lot, and I also applied that into helping caregive for her. We made great smoothies. We did range of motion exercises, some mental techniques. So we incorporated a lot of the things that I had learned into her care, and it worked out pretty well. Unfortunately, she ended up passing away, but I learned a lot throughout that process, and I believe, and she believes, that it help her live longer and happier through that tough period in her life. I also advise my aging grandmother, she's 86, on health and nutrition. She's been having a tough time, getting the appropriate amount of nutrition, and she recently had a hip replacement and has some eye issues, and so we incorporate a lot of healthy nutrition that of recent has really benefited her, and she's been feeling the results. I also advise my uncle, who has diabetes, on nutritional things that he can do to help manage his diabetes. And then I run an ALS research page on Facebook, and I have about 235 followers. And I also run a blog called NeuroHealing, and it's at neurohealing.org. And yeah, that's kind of my experience, and I hope that I can help even more people. How can I help people, and how does it differ from doctors? Well, mainly I would say that doctors primarily focus on surgery and prescription medications and symptom management instead of a more holistic approach and really delving into what is the underlying cause of these diseases. So, I mainly advise natural medicines and nutrition and exercise and some mental training techniques, and help people learn for themselves why these things help and what specific things might help them, and also how to incorporate it in their lives. Everyone's unique, so it's important to know why these things work and how they work, and then also have some ideas on how they can incorporate some of these positive things into their own lives. I also advise testing, such as heavy metal testing. It's a big toxin out there, and a lot of people don't realize how much heavy metal is in their brain or body, and how it may be affecting them. So, and also food allergy testing. A lot of people have certain allergies to foods that can be kind of under the radar, but eventually it can end up manifesting in a more serious illness. And doing the testing is important, because then I do have a lot of heavy metal in my body, and how do I detoxify from that? Or maybe you have a gluten allergy that you didn't know, and it's causing an excitotoxic reaction in your brain. So I really like to get the tests and find out what's going on, and from there kind of advise on how do we do detoxification and which foods to avoid, things like that. I've studied exercise and mental training, and I think that's a big focus that people, if they are more aware of really what is going on when I exercise. It stimulates dopamine, it stimulates serotonin, it helps you get rid of certain toxins in the body, it stimulates neurogenesis, birth of new brain cells. So there's a lot of positive benefits that exercise does, and there's different types of exercise, and they benefit in different ways. And if you have a disease like ALS, it's important to know which types of exercise to do, and not to overdo it and kind of cause further problems. So it's exercise and also mental training, the ability to use techniques to stay calm and not allow the stresses in life to trigger certain hormonal responses, which can cascade and cause damage in the body when it gets out of hand. I just mentioned it briefly. I also study neuroplasticity and neurogenesis. This is how the brain continually changes, rewires itself, and it has a remarkable healing potential. We know that the brain now does grow new brain cells, and those can get incorporated into existing cortical areas, such as the motor cortex. And this is important to understand and just to be aware of, to know that it is possible, and you can do it if you understand, you know, what it takes to maybe make more neurons, and that can be done through exercise, or certain herbs and natural medicines can also stimulate that. So just knowing and then being able to use that information to incorporate some of these things into your life, so you can, you know, mold your brain and heal it and detoxify and grow more brain cells. And it's important not only from a preventative and healing from neurological illness, it's also important because if you want to maximize, you know, your brain power, and if you want to go that extra level and really have that extra ability to manifest positive things in your life, and basically you just boost your brain power. So that's my quick list of questions to help you get to know me better. I hope that helps, and yeah, thank you.